say, I wish I had a teacher like that. Some of them are saying that. I wish I had a teacher like that. You ain't never heard no man say something to that effect. I would like to do my teacher. She was hot. But you was a kid at the time. So you saying you would like her to be a pedophile. That's a 7. Out. But you would never hear a woman say that. I wish I could have done, well, in some cases, but not culturally speaking. They don't say, well, I wish I had a man teacher like that when I was a kid. Men say these things in your American culture, and then you ready to jump over fences and jump over houses to protect children. This woman was they got a warrant for her arrest September 10th. That's not even a month ago. And what I'm trying to show you, and it comes back what I told you just a couple weeks ago. It's an infatuation culture here with children. Okay? It's an infatuation culture. Because explain this. I'm pretty sure she was in the anime. I guarantee you. She probably was in the anime. She probably was in the cartoons. So you think she just was like a totally adult? You think she like watched only adult stuff and only like go to bars and hang in adult atmospheres? I don't think so. I think she probably was engaged excessively in anime, all these kid movies and stuff. And as an adult, I understand you got movie time with your children, but you also have to have adult time for you. You need to get all these images of children jumping around and all of this. You need to get some adult images in your head. That's a 7. You sitting around watching anime and all these kids stampering in movies and stuff. Nah, you need to watch some adult, masculine, or for women, feminine movies. That brings out and arouses your manhood or arouses your femininity. Watching all this anime stuff, I'm telling you. You don't think this gets into the wiring. I'm trying to tell you. You cannot just be in child's atmospheres. You can't be in just children atmospheres all the time. You have to get in adult atmospheres to feed your adult nature and character. If you're watching adult stuff all the time, then when you come around children, you're going to conduct yourself as the adults that you've seen in the movies. That's a 7. But if you watching all this kid stuff and all of this, man, it starts there, I think. But definitely, it's safe to say they cross over from the rest of how we think into infatuation with children. What I call even child worship. They worship children. It is true. And here's the thing. Here in this country, people go to one extreme or another. You want to protect them like they your girlfriend. They riding around like they your girlfriend, which is questionable to me. That's questionable to me. I mean, you're to the point where you're accusing innocent people. So at that part right there, you just became like the boyfriend of these girls, and you became the girlfriend if you're a woman. I mean, you've crossed over to the point where you're now accusing innocent people. So you're another one that is infatuated. To me, or you worship children. It's one or the other. Because if you're to the point where you're so excessive with protecting children that you're accusing innocent people, you're out of pocket, buddy. Are you high? Are you stoned? Are you stoned? Because now you're to the point where You're out here, yeah. Okay. And then the other extreme is that people want to marry the children or they want to have sex with them. So it's two extremes here. You have the ones that want to be the boyfriends and the girlfriends accusing innocent people like that's my girlfriend, my boyfriend, riding around in the car with your pistol like that's your girlfriend. And then you have the ones that actually engage in sexual activity. And the rest of us, we do what's normal. We adore children. We think they're adorable, all that stuff. And we give them their place. We know that they don't belong in our world. And we don't belong in theirs. We interact with their worlds. They interact with ours. But they cannot plop down in an adult world. That's a 7. And you can't plop down in no child's world either. And this is where the problem is. That's why kids, they go into an adult world where people are drinking, smoking. Next thing you know, they're having sex. They do not supposed to be engaging in an adult world. And you don't supposed to be engaging in a child's world, sitting around Indian style, sitting on the ground with 5, 6, 7 girls around. You don't need, I'm not saying you can't do it, but come on now. Look, why put yourself in that situation? Okay? I'm not saying you can't sit down and Indian style and be with children. I'm not saying you can't do it. Some of you have done it. You can do it. You didn't do anything wrong. But we got to set a standard here, okay? We got to set a standard for everybody to follow. If you are tempted with children, if you are attracted to children, you should not be in the room sitting around Indian style with 7 girls. That's not your stuff. That's not for you. If you are aroused and you're 100 with yourself, see me, I'm pure. I go into the atmosphere. I'm a protector. I want to make you better. I want you. I'm a master. I want you to be a student. You know, I look at kids like that. You're a student of a master. I want to give something to you, knowledge and information that can make you great and lead you to greatness. That's my mentality. But if you go in there and you thinking about sexual stuff, you can't, that's not for you. And you got to be 100 with yourself. You got to be 100 with yourself, because these people that are engaging children are getting caught up. The teacher, okay, it was not her stuff. She was too weak. She was too weak in the area of sexuality with human beings, particularly with children. She didn't have the character. Let's put it like that. She didn't have the character to stand in the midst of those children and stand pure. It was not for her. Now, if she was 100 with herself, then she would have been, then soon as those feelings would have came, then she would have, I don't know, get counseling, get therapy, engage with men. She would have did something like that. But instead, everybody can't be a teacher. Everyone cannot be a teacher. Okay? And I'm not saying for the reasons of sexuality. Some of you just are not good with children. You don't like them enough. You're not patient. You're not patient enough with them. That's other reasons you might not want to engage children. If you go to a daycare and you're not patient with children, you're going to start shaking children. What about those kind of people? They don't sexually bother children, but they shake them to death. Because it wasn't your thing. If you know children tick you off and piss you off, and you know they just rub you the wrong way, then it's not your thing to engage in their world. See what I'm saying? You know that's not your stuff. I gotta say this because I'm giving you examples, even outside the sexuality. If you know you have a temper, you don't need to be in a child's world or a leader over children. You're gonna wind up slapping them, punching them, and you have to have patience. You have to be pure. You gotta have the whole suit and character. That's my whole point. You have to. I'm talking about these things, and I just, I feel God has given me insight without obviously being those things. And, this is what it takes. This woman couldn't handle being around the children. But like I said, you got to be able to you got to teach your children. Don't be flirting with your teachers now. We live in a different time. Don't be flirting with your teachers. They could be obsessive. They could be crazy. Kidnap the child, everything. Just go out like that, then blaze of glory with kidnapping the child and doing whatever they want to do and then dying after that. Hey, you don't know. And it started maybe with the kids flirting. They're not innocent. They're not innocent little angels anymore. And while I'm talking about 44 states for child marriage, I got the whole spectrum of all this stuff going on. And these little children out here are not no angels. You will be surprised at what these kids are doing these days. Think about what you was doing in your day. That's all you got to do. Everybody had a crush. If you say you didn't have a crush on a teacher or found one of them attractive, I'm not gonna say every kid did it, but on the average, most of us have found one teacher attractive. And I remember the teacher I found attractive. You know what I'm saying? And she was really attractive. And my eyes were open. It was like in those years, your eyes are open to beauty in a woman. For men and for women, your eyes can be opened to the beauty of an adult. This is how it happens. But they're supposed to be guardians. They're supposed to say, I see that in you, but I'm pure. That's not going to happen. You gotta be a guardian and guard yourself as well. I was attracted to a teacher, and she was beautiful. She couldn't have been no more older than 40 something years old herself, probably 39, mid 30s. Man, she was beautiful. And I don't think she was trying to turn me on purpose. I don't think she ever did. I don't think she ever did that. But I'm pretty sure most guys will tell you they got erections in class. Yeah, we got erections in class. You ain't get erections in class in school. I did. And it was in the class of this teacher that I found she was very attractive. And I got an erection. I couldn't even get up. Like, I was so embarrassed. Like, I had to sit there when the class was over. I had to sit there and just play it off and like wait for it to go down. No, we have to talk as adults about real stuff, right? Like real details about stuff, right? So we can understand. We can understand our children. We can understand ourselves. We can understand what teachers are exposed to. And she may have known I got a hard on. I don't know. Because I didn't have eyes to see who she was because I was too young, But I don't think she provoked me because I myself was attracted to her. She didn't do anything for me to be attracted for me. She didn't do anything for me to be attracted to her. And see, when you understand this, and me sharing this experience with you, you understand that children are attracted to teachers as well. And then if a teacher sees that and acts, it's over. It's going to happen. They're going to let it happen. The child is going to let it happen. If they're already attracted to the teacher, getting aroused by the teacher on their own, teacher doing nothing, right? Then that's what's probably, it's gonna happen if if the teacher preys on it and approaches it. Okay, but that's no excuse. That's my whole thing. It's no excuse. You got a lot of clowns out here, and it's no excuse. It's no excuse, man. There's no excuse for clown foolishness. And if you don't you don't put them through the full extent of the law, I guess that's how it's put. If you don't start giving them 10 years, 5 years for doing these kind of things, then they're going to feel like there's no true consequences. That's what have them do it in the first place. If they felt like it was going to be some real consequences, then they wouldn't do it. They would not do it. If you know you're going to jail for 20 years for playing around a child, as a teacher who the parents trusted, you should get about 15 years. Yes, you should get about, what other profession are you going to do anyway? What do we want you to do next? We want you to sit down and think about what you did. That's what we want you to do next. And if you give them a slap on the wrist because they're they're a teacher. See, that's why I can't stress this enough. These are the people you trust. These teachers are the teachers. These are the people you trust, right? That's who you trust. But look what they do. They go astray. You get your gun out if you've seen somebody else do it. You go get your gun. But for the teacher, you don't even protest. I don't get that for the world of me. For the world of me, I don't understand how people can hoop and holler about some random person around the way, doing something wrong. And then when it comes to the teachers who have more responsibility over your children, you have nothing to say. That's a 7. So I don't take people seriously, because when I see stuff like this, I hit the roof. This woman, English teacher down in Tampa. Like I told you, my son is in Tampa. I got a kid down there myself. My kid could have been in that classroom. That's what I'm saying. And, it could have, if you were in the Tampa area, it could have been your kid. It could have been your child. So what you need to think about is, if somebody got caught doing this, that means it's a whole culture and crowd of this. That's how you got to think. You can't think, oh, this person just some person out on Antarctica just doing what they want to do in the world. They're in their own little world. What you need to think, and from this pattern that you see, it keep happening, this fad, or how I want to say it, fad or trend of the the teachers sexually engaging the students now. This is your job, to engage students. You have to prepare teachings and everything. All you should be thinking about is how you're going to teach the children, how you want to give them good teachings, how you want to make sure they go to the next grade right. This is how a teacher would think. You know, you're at home thinking about it. So how you go from that to now you're thinking about sex with the children? Some would say you're taking your job a little too seriously. I couldn't resist that one. But it ain't funny at all. They need to go out and have fun, have sex. Well, I think you should be married. I'm working on getting married. But you need to work towards engaging the opposite sex. So when you go around your kids, as a teacher, you're a protector. You're a mother. Okay? How you become, you know, a hot mama at school? Because you ain't engaging no man. Which means she may have a little bit of mental sickness going on. Hey, you got some people that's smart and crazy. That's the problem in America. When you see somebody that's smart, oh, nothing wrong with that person. You don't know that. You don't know that. It's a lot of smart, crazy people out here. Hey, all crazy people ain't dumb. Use your brain. There got to be some mental sickness with high IQs. Come on now. Come on now. So all mental sickness is low IQ people? She might have a little mental sickness going on. She looks a little off. You know? She might got something going on. Where she ain't engaging. Something might have happened to her as a kid. Who knows? People need to check that out. You know what you need to do? You people that hire these teachers, you need to find out if they were molested. Yes, you need to find out if these teachers had any, obviously they're not registered sex offenders. Who's going to put a teacher as a registered sex offender? They're obviously not registered sex offenders, but you need a better questionnaire to go through things, a true questionnaire, so that the people that know that's getting this job also can think about this. They can think about it. Now, if they lie to you, they still can think about it. Okay, yeah, I had some things that happened to me when I was a kid. You know, am I engaged with the opposite sex? Am I dating? Do I have a dating life? Do I have a sex life? Yes. Y'all need to start asking this. Because this is what happened to the Catholic priest too. That's a 7. Well, they take vows of celibacy. And God says, be fruitful and multiply. Paul said in the Bible, I wish you was like me. I'm paraphrasing because he was practicing celibacy, the Apostle Paul. But he said it's better to marry than to burn. So that's for the Catholic priests right there. Paul said, I wish you all could be like me. I wish you all could abstain from sex. But it's better to marry than for you to burn. For you to burn with passion. I know my gift is not celibacy. No, that's not my gift. I know. I love I am a person that I love to engage the opposite sex in all the anatomy. I love the body, the physical embrace of the opposite sex. It's not for me. I like to embrace the embrace of the opposite sex. Okay? Now, if you don't like that, I don't know. Maybe you need to get some mental health counseling. Now, I start there. Get to know yourself. But don't go to church and you got mental health problems talking about you wanna have vows of celibacy. No, maybe you got some mental problems. Go get that and check and then come back and see if you still wanna, take a vow of celibacy. Because what winds up happening, because these Catholic priests in the past, mostly, don't engage the opposite sex, you know, they wind up still acting out sexually. They still wind up acting out sexually. Done took vows of celibacy. You supposed to be better than all of us sexually. But here you are, worse than all of us. That part. And it's the same thing with the teachers, just like the Catholic priests. You're not engaging the outside world. You're so wrapped up in being a teacher. Think about it. They got a lot of studies to do. They probably go home and got to do studies and make sure the teaching is proper. That's probably the first thing they got to do. Think about it. They got to have all them teachers 5 days out of a week. They got to have 5 solid teachers. Now, they can do it on the weekend and kind of be ahead. That's what I would do. Maybe on a Sunday, I would spend all day Sunday making teachings for Monday through Friday. But see, some teachers go to church. So then you got to come home about 1 or 2. I don't know. You still could do it. You know? And then you could do it, you could just do it one day after a regular school day. Just do the whole week. That's what I would do. It may be hard, may be tough. But see, what I think is they get caught up in always scheduling those new teachings they're going to do. And they don't have any social life. They don't have any sex life. And they get caught up in it. And then they still have sexual desire. Because they're human. And so they act out sexually anyway. Being a teacher, being in that position, they still act out sexually, although they act like, oh, we're teachers, we're just doing, this is my life, I love the children, and I don't want to, I will never hurt them, and I am, I don't really need a man, this is my calling, but you still acting out sexually, though. So then you still need a man, that part, that's a 7. Well, you showing your need for one because you're acting out sexually. I didn't say it. You did it for me to say it. Boom. So these teachers need to be social. They need to be social with adults. You need to break from the children. You need to break from the atmosphere of the children. You need to smell some adults. Smell some perfume and some colognes of adults. You smell children and cherry and lemons and all of that kind of stuff. All the little stuff they be wearing. That's all you smelling, cherries and grapes and stuff. You need to be around a masculine cologne. You need to be around a feminine perfume so you can go get one yourself. Because I am convinced that the American community is engaging too much in children's atmospheres. That's a 7. You're engaging too much in children's atmospheres. Okay? If you have children, you have no choice. You have to watch something. You have to spend time with them, watch, but you still have to balance it. You too. You have to balance it. Parents are getting infatuated with their children too. All in their world. And you ain't got no adult world. Some people even say it. My children are my world. Then you wind up I ain't gonna say making love to them. You wind up having sex with them. Yeah, they became a little bit too much of your world. Now they're rocking your world. Okay. I couldn't resist that one. I'm convinced teenage boys are having sex with their mothers these days because everybody is cool with their kids. They get around when they feel like they old enough, around 16, 17. I think some parents are engaging their children. Straight up sex, real sex. And it's probably their little secret. It's probably their little thing, you know, and these days they just keep vows of secrecy and go to the grave with what they did. Yeah, they ain't going to the authorities no more, I don't think. I think there's people that have real sex with their mothers. They make sure they don't have no babies. They probably would get abortion if they did. But think about it. These times are crazy. So there's some parents smoking weed and drinking with their kids, having sex with them. Because, and I guarantee you, hear this part, it started with them being too engaged in their world. Now you smoking weed with them. You know the cool parents. But you smoke weed in an adult world. They smoke weed in a child world with their friends. Now you don't merge it together, but it's really, they're not really in your world. You're accommodating. They're not in your world. You're accommodating to the point where you're in their world. You're listening to their music. Now you getting up, shaking your butt in front of your kid. Next thing you know, he kind of rubbing on it, slapping on it. Boom. Now you're in the situation. Now you're in the situation. I'm pretty sure that's probably how it happened. Because I'm 41. I'm a hip hop baby. So everybody that's like 41 with kids right now, they listen to hip hop. You sitting around with your kids smoking and choking. They start dancing. You start dancing. And now they playing and acting like they smacking on your butt. And now you liked it. It aroused you. You're already high. Now look at you. You know?